What's up, everybody, and welcome back to another episode of Lockdown 23-1. And today I thought I'd bring a little news story your way from my area, Chesapeake, Virginia. Well, I don't live in Chesapeake no more, but I did a lot of jail time in Chesapeake City Jail. Now it's called Chesapeake Correctional Center, but this correctional officer I'm about to show you is someone that I am very familiar with, okay? He was one of the coolest COs in the whole compound, man. I would kick it with him on a regular basis from my cell. I would try to talk to him anytime I was getting rebooked in. He had the kind of personality that was just, relaxing, man. He would talk to you and not really treat you like an inmate, you know what I mean? He would talk to you like he was your friend on the street or something, man. He was a really good and kind-hearted individual. But today I just realized that this dude just got hemmed up for some sex charges. Okay, I believe he was a correctional officer for 17 years. Okay, he's been in this line of business for a very long time. Okay, he's been in that jail. I would get out, go to prison, and come back to jail, get out, come back, get out, come back, and he was always there. He was always there, and he goes by the name of Burnside. That's his real name, and I'm going to show you a picture of him really quick. It says, former deputy with the Chesapeake Sheriff's Office has been arrested on sexual battery charge, officials say. Burnside is charged with sexual battery of an inmate by an employee and was arrested on Tuesday, February 26. Burnside was a deputy in Chesapeake for 17 years and assigned to court security, the sheriff's office said. Okay, court security. Court security is those officers that sit behind an inmate when they go in front of a judge or something along those lines. So I'm guessing for him to have some kind of sexual contact with an inmate, it had to have happened in the little holding tank, because he's not working obviously in population. He's going, unless he was transferred. Sometimes correctional officers that work the courts, maybe if they get called down to a fight or something along those lines, they'll leave and go down to the main jail and help out. But for the most part, they're sitting in that courtroom all day. So I'm guessing that this sexual misconduct happened in the holding tank right outside the courtroom. I don't know how this could have happened. I know this guy just didn't seem like that type individual, man. He seemed a lot smarter and laid back and just a good kind of guy. And, even though he was arrested and he was fired from his job, I'm not going to jump to no conclusions, man. He ain't found guilty yet, but at the same time, this guy has always treated me fair and with respect. It didn't matter. It's like he never had a bad day, and even if he had a bad day, he never showed it. He was one of those COs or deputies that just, seemed as though he had integrity. Okay, 100% of the time, he was him always. You know what I mean? And he didn't change up. There's some COs out there that be cool with you and they'll change up, and they might have been talked to roughly by another inmate and then come to you and treat you like trash. I've seen that many of times. But for him to have a sexual charge, man, it's not good. It's not good. I don't know how this is gonna play out. I wonder how the inmate is able to, certain things like this. I just wonder how the inmate's able to prove stuff like that. Do they get in I really don't know much about this. Let's say you get hurt by a correctional officer, or you get sexually, messed with sexually. How do you go about proving that? I know there's security cameras. Maybe someone in the security room was watching the camera at the same time and said, oh man, did you see that? Did you see what he did to that girl? How can an inmate prove it? If someone didn't see it like that, how is an inmate going to prove it? Do they hire an attorney and the attorney asks for, video footage records? I don't know if an attorney even has that power. Does the inmate ask the sergeant, lieutenant, captain, or something, say, hey, I was sexually assaulted by one of your staff members. We need to, and when stuff like that happens, let's say if I was a lieutenant, okay, and I heard an inmate come talk to me about it, naturally, I'm going to investigate it for the simple fact that if someone else investigates it and I didn't, and it comes to light that there was some serious abuse going on towards that inmate, then I could be held accountable for it because I didn't do nothing for it. I didn't do nothing about it. I didn't start no investigation. And my job could be at loss. So I can understand if someone went to someone higher ranked, because lieutenants, captains, and majors, they walk through the blocks, maybe not all the time, but they do come through. And, sometimes inmates like to express everything that's wrong to these higher up individuals. And some of them really do take action. And some of them don't even talk to you. They're like, back up, back up. And they'll just walk on out, do their rounds and walk on out. But something along these lines, I still don't know too much about how the investigation would be started, how an inmate can prove it. Because most places I've been to, if I've had problems before, they never got dealt with, okay? I can name a few times where I definitely probably would have had a lawsuit on my hands, if I went upon trying to get this dude tricked up, But at the same time, if I were to try, I wouldn't even know where to begin, I really wouldn't. So maybe that's why I'm going to do another video in the future, how inmates can protect themselves from staff, from correctional officers, and what exactly should they do if they are physically harmed or sexually mistreated by this staff. Like, what is the process for this stuff to be bust wide open? You know what I mean? For everyone to hear it. Do you contact your local news? Do you write someone? Do you get a lawyer? What is it? I don't know. I'm gonna do some research and talk more about this here in the future. And as well, I'm going to be talking about in my next video, which is probably going to be in a few days because I'm leaving to Florida today, some prison tattoos that you should never get, okay? That you should never get. And I'm going to show you a couple on myself that, I regret and I wish I never got. Because for real, they put me in a lot of sticky situations, man. For real, I've already talked about a couple of them. But I'm going to go more in depth into this whole tattoo thing while being locked up, man. Because for real, people, they can lose their life behind a number tattooed on them that has nothing to do with gang stuff. You know what I mean? Or they could be placed into different housing units simply because correction officers think you're banging that certain, that gang. But in all actuality, you're not. You just happen to have that number tattooed on you. Okay, it's very dangerous getting some certain tattoos, as well as coming home with tattoos. Coming home with tattoos, there's a lot of people that get crazy wild tattoos when they come home and they're around their kids. It's just something that, it's a bad influence for people to see, if that makes sense. I'm going to talk more about that later on down the road. But yeah, I thought I'd bring this story y'all's way. A correctional officer that I really did respect. And he was a good individual, kind-hearted individual, man. He would give me extra trays, extra bag lunches if they had it. He was a really good dude, and this is just a sad story to me, man. Even though it's, I shouldn't feel sorry for the guy. It's a sexual assault charge, but at the same time, he was a good dude. You know what I mean? It's a misdemeanor, too, so I'm guessing maybe he could have either smacked her butt, grabbed her, her chest or something along those lines. I don't know. I really don't. But we're going to find out. And I'm going to keep y'all updated on this whole story. And anyone that's done time in Chesapeake, I can guarantee they know who Burnside is. He's a good dude. Good dude. And that's why I was so shocked to see him on the news. And I'm also going to be talking about this freaking Patriots owner that got caught in Florida prostitution sting. It's crazy, man, and the stuff that was going on, what they recorded him doing and stuff like that. It's not all proven. I think he's denying all allegations, but one of the funny things about this is I've been doing my research on this whole situation, and Yelp, you have reviews, and someone left a review on this prostitution place, massage parlor in Florida. Was it South Florida, I believe? It said, one of the workers asked me for a happy ending. They dropped down big time on Yelp, didn't they? I bet the federales were like, oh yeah, this is probably it. This is probably a good one. And also there's someone else said that she went there to get waxed. She went there to get waxed and there was a flock of men coming in there. Them old dudes trying to get it in, boy. It ain't a funny matter, though. It ain't a funny matter. Death, stop laughing. But at the same time, it kind of is the way she left the comment on Yelp. And it's crazy, man. People with all this money, millions of dollars, you would think they'd go about doing things a little differently. And so we're going to be talking about that as well in the future, Patriots. And I got a couple special guests coming onto the show here soon. They got some wild and crazy stories. Some of them are some official cats, too. You know what I mean? But anyways, y'all be easy, be safe out there. Do not forget to check out all the links in the description of the video. Add me up on Twitch, Twitter, Instagram, all that good stuff. Go buy yourself some merchandise off of Teespring. And be ready for this meet and greet coming later on this week. Okay, I'll keep you posted. Probably leave something in the community board on YouTube and on Instagram of the official date and time. It'll be in a couple days, I can promise you that. And as always, I salute to every last one of you who've been supporting me since the beginning and everyone who's just now joining the Lockdown Compound.